Hello, my sleuths. We are back with another installment of the Idaho 4. This is about Beneath the Silence. Going back to the roots, part 1, we kind of went through what was going on in the weeks leading up to the actual day of the event. I have to record this now. Obviously, you see, I've already done the reading. But I just need to say this reading is for entertainment purposes only, not based on fact, just my opinion, my interpretation of the cards. Throw your own cards, form your own opinions, because I'm just a blowing throwing cards here. Okay, done. Now, in part 2 here, we're going to look at the night itself and just kind of see what developed. And of course, I am going to actually use the Celtic Cross to start with. I'm not starting with oracles. I'm starting with the regular tarot and the Celtic Cross. Then I will pull other decks out for clarification as we go along. Okay, the cards are almost ready. They feel ready. Okay, let's see what we got. Ace of Swords. I shit you not. To me, that's representation of the weapon. Crossed by the Temperance. Notice it's Archangel Michael. It is the healing aspect. Now, healing comes in many forms. For the Idaho 4, it was passing over. But we'll get to all this. Crowning is the Page of Pentacles. The Past, 3 of Wands. What was exiting was the 5 of Swords that night. 4 of Pentacles is the Bridge. The Hermit, or not the Hermit, the Hanged Man is it could be looked at as their strengths or their viewpoint, their standing. Where the situation it's standing or the people involved. The environment, 8 of Swords. Hopes and fears, 2 of Swords. And the potential outcome where things are going is it leads right to the King of Pentacles, the final and destination. Okay, I'll put him over here. Now, the heart of the matter. This is the incident. This is the weapon which led to 4 people passing over. That's a no-brainer. Okay? That's what it was all about. And it started with some kind of communication. Some kind of messages. Sometimes this is looked at as an offer being put forth. Could also represent a contract. We will get clarification. Okay? But to me, it started with messages. Okay? In the past, 3 of Wands, looking forward, planning, taking action on a plan. So even the day of, okay, that could be considered the past as well, the past prior to the actual incident. Okay? That is people looking out, waiting for an opportunity. This was very, very well planned. This was going to happen. And this is also somebody traveling. What is the next step in looking for that opportunity? Part of the plan was getting, and this is going to take this however you want, but getting Kaylee back to Moscow. Okay? Kaylee had to be there. I do not believe Kaylee was collateral damage. Kaylee was part of this. And what was exiting, the Five of Swords, something very, this is bullying. I want to say that part of these messages might have been threats, might have been warnings. Somebody in that group of 4 received a warning. That takes me back to that Grubhub. I have delivery on my mind. That Grub truck, that footage. Maddie, what did you tell Adam? Oh, I told Adam everything. They're going to get you girls for that. Remember that? They received a warning. And what's bridging, or what came right after that? Protection. Guarded. 4 of Pentacles. Again, the real perpetrator being under some sense of protection of the King of Pentacles, the money man. And this is making me think with the Pentacles here, Swords and Pentacles are dominant. Okay? Which is, the act with the swords was based upon some kind of monetary value. Somebody was paid. Page of Pentacles. Over money probably owed. And there is that sense of protection here with that 4 of Pentacles. Something really, really guarded. I wish I would have brought out another deck, but I didn't. Actually, I could. Hold that thought for a minute. I got my second deck when I get to the clarifying stage. But regardless, where do they stand right now? Contemplation. There is this, this is the Hanged Man. This is sacrifice. This is making me think of Brian Koberger. Somebody being sacrificed for the sake of the whole. Sacrificing the few to save the many. Somebody had to become a patsy. And this is like, you got to sacrifice somebody. Somebody has to take the blame for this. This is also, we need to look at things from another perspective. Because if we do not have somebody to take the fall, there's a lot of people going to go to jail, going to go to prison or worse. Okay? Because the environment is being bound, being locked up. We have somebody here that was sacrificed. And although I do not believe Brian Koberger did the deed. That's my personal belief. But as much as I want to think that he is completely innocent and everything, he may not have had a connection to the victims, but he definitely had a connection to the perpetrators and to the big guy. Okay? There was definitely a connection there. And so the environment is jail. And it is about, this is like, they may even have already had this planned and thought out. We need somebody to take the fall for this. Sacrifice the one to save the many. And hopes and fears, we have the Two of Swords. Don't look here. They're hoping to cause confusion, which they have. If you move forward to where things are, hoping to cause confusion. And this was a very tough decision on who was going to take the fall. The Two of Swords also represents at least two perpetrators. One person didn't do this by themselves. Okay? I'm seeing two. And with the blindfold there, it's like hoping to blind and bluff law enforcement, investigators, the world, and making them think that there was one lone person that did this. Had to be Brian Kohberger. But there were two perpetrators in that house that night, not just one. And there is a fear there of this perpetrator getting discovered. But they're really hoping that the blindfold stays on, that nobody catches on to what really happened. Outcome is the King of Pentacles. That's very curious to me, because this is the guy with the money. This is the employer, giving the payouts, running the show. I like to call the King of Pentacles Mr. Moneybags. Okay? He's the outcome. And I want to draw one more card, because when you have an outcome of the King of a court card, it's like suggesting that moving forward, things are going to lead to this King of Pentacles. Something's going to come out. Five of Pentacles, he's going to lose a lot. What is he going to lose? His victory. So, as this court case moves forward, this is indicating that there could be evidence leading to the big money man that actually comes out. Okay. Now, to take a deeper dive into this, let's look at this Ace of Swords. This is the Sword of Truth. This could be the weapon. Let's look at this center. This is representing the crime itself. See if this gives us any other information about the crime itself. Who's this? Hold on. Thank you for calling Billy Bob's Roadkill Restaurant. From your vendor, served up hot and tender. Oh, they hung up. Okay. Anyhow, moving on. I hope you guys got a laugh out of that. It said spam risk. So, okay, show me This Ace of Swords. What about this Ace of Swords? Two people. Two of Wands. I said it was planned. Rushed in. Knight of Swords. And we got the Page of Pentacles in. They're saying that it's funny that they're rushing in with a sword, right? We got two Page of Pentacles here. It was over communication. It was a contract. This was definitely a contracted hit. Okay. Temperance. Somebody received money, payment, to go into that house that night. This was a professional job, folks. Temperance. Passion. Ace of Wands. Idea. Page of Swords. We've got all these pages representing students too. And we got a King of Cups. And let me tell you something about the King of Cups. The King of Cups, that could be Koberger. He's a Scorpio, okay? But the King of Cups is not comfortable in the water, okay? Not comfortable in the emotions. And in fact, he tries to use his logic from the kings, okay? Kings are air. This is the way I read them. Kings are air, knights are fire, okay? You're trying to use logic to make sense of his emotions. That is the King of Cups. Now, he was in a position of being counselor or student aid type thing, right? But as much as he tried to use compassion, he really had a difficult time with that. Because with the sword here, Page of Swords, his communications, he communicated really harshly. But there was an idea behind his back. I feel like he knew about this plan. And the temperance here is the healing process. It is, because it has an angel on it, it's making me think of them passing over. Healing the situation that was done. But we have a King of Cups here who is keeping an eye on some new idea, some new growth. And the passion. But this is all going on behind the King's back. So we got a King of Cups here, and behind his back we have Page of Swords and the Ace of Wands. This is somebody who has this brilliant idea behind his back. To me, I think the King of Cups is Brian Koberger. Behind his back, a plan, an idea came to mind in regards to who are we going to sacrifice. Okay. Now let's look at this Page of Pentacles that is crowning that communication or that contract. Okay, I only have one card here. Okay. We have the Nine of Cups. Desires, wishes. King of Cups. Or Knight of Cups. And the King of Wands. Okay. we have somebody here approaching the King of Wands. We have somebody here who had a certain wish that seems to be behind him, a certain desire, a certain happiness. And he's approaching the King of Wands with the 10th cup. That ultimate happiness, that fulfillment. And if you go back to my old videos, you'll know who I'm talking about when I say lover boy. Okay? This is reminding me of lover boy going to somebody who's really bold. Somebody who's in charge. The King of Wands is in charge, let me tell you. The King of Pentacles has the money. He's the manager. He pays things out. But the King of Wands, out of the kings, next to the Emperor, he runs the show. Okay? He has a vision and he acts upon it. So this Knight of Cups goes to the King of Wands and says, there's my wishes, with a wish and a desire, and asks for help. Maybe perhaps written communications. But to me, it's reminding me of a snitch. It's reminding me of Loverboy, who has an ulterior motive. And I still stand by and say that there were multiple motives in this whole scenario. All four of them did not pass, all for the same reason. I think that there were at least two. We have duality in this reading. We have the Two of Swords. We have the Two of Wands. We have duality. And we have choice. And we have planning. So, we have a Knight of Cups here who had an ulterior motive, another agenda, who approached that King of Wands with an offer, or with a proposal, maybe a request. Okay. So this is getting a little bit deeper. So we go to the past. What is this Three of Wands all about? I may not even need any of my other decks that I brought out here. This is like very straightforward. Okay, Three of Wands, Four of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Three of Cups. This here are the three girls. And there is one of them in particular that represents this Queen of Pentacles. The down-to-earth, the practical. She is the nurturer. Okay? Then we have the Four of Cups here. I am not happy about what my Queen of Pentacles is about to do. She's going out into life and enjoying herself, but she is leaving me behind. She's leaving me behind. So a plan was enacted. Part of that plan was, I'm going to approach the King of Wands and tell the King of Wands about this. And I'm going to show evidence of everything these girls have been doing. And I'm going to get that king all fired up here. The exiting energy, moving into this, it's showing somebody who's being a bully, somebody who's butthurt, somebody who is very shady. They have to win at all costs. And to me, it feels really mentally conflicted person here who is on the exit. This is somebody who didn't understand why they were on their way out. Okay? They were butthurt. And they came upon the sneaky idea and there's one particular girl who I think was the main target and being passed off as collateral damage. There we have the King of Swords, the decision being made. That was not really a fair decision. Strategizing. The Knight of Wands, heat, coming in. We've got 3 knights here on the board. The only one missing is the Knight of Pentacles. We have somebody very emotional. We have somebody rushing in at the crime scene. We have somebody really fired up, taking action, working on it with the 8 of Pentacles. This screams this was a plan that was coming together and being executed. It's on the exit because it's in the process. You see what I'm saying? It's going beyond the planning stage and into the execution stage, based upon also somebody that has to win at all cost. I think that somebody really close to the girls wanted revenge, and that's what ended with the attack that night. Okay. Now, they're being protected. 4 of Pentacles. Majorly protected, right? Let's see what this bridge is. This is bridging this with this over here. It's the connection. It is like what happens immediately after they go into protection. 2 of Cups. 2 of Swords again. We saw 2 of Swords, hopes and dreams. Hopes and fears. There's 2 people, a partnership that needs to go into protection. The Hermit and hide. They go to somebody wiser. Could be a teacher or something like that. Could be a counselor. But this is that inner wisdom. And this is also learning a lesson. It also represents healing. But to me, it's representing somebody that they trust that will protect them where they are able to hide. And, I mean, I can't make this shit up. And again, the only 2 that's missing on the board is the 2 of Pentacles. Nothing practical about this. It was all emotional, heat of the moment, anger. But we have 2 people in partnership. Now remember, the 2 of Cups is not always romantic. It's 2 people that have an emotional bond, like brothers, okay? Brotherhood. That belong to the same group that may have been close. But it's 2 people. 2 weapons. Okay? They go to somebody wise and they say, we need protection from this. And they go right on into protection. Now let's get to this. This Hangman. This is what I said, the sacrifice. This is, their strength is they already had somebody to hang out to dry. Okay? And it was Brian Koberger. And he has it, as much as I don't think he did the crime, but he's not 100% innocent, and I've held that stance. All because the prosecution's case is falling apart, which it should. because he didn't do the crime. He didn't enter that house. But my intuition and my cards have been saying he had knowledge. He was not connected with the four, but he was connected with the group. Okay? One way or another. So, the strength of this crime is they had somebody that they were able to pin this on and hang out to dry. Who is, their environment now is a jail cell. Okay. Got the world complete. Smoke and mirrors. An illusion. 7 of Cups. 5 of Pentacles, I shit you not. This is literally saying the job is done and we're going to hang somebody out to dry. Somebody out in the cold. We're pushing them out. They are our sacrifice. They are our patsy. And the job completed being covered up. And in fact, I'm being, but there's a little peek into the cover-up, which is happening right now, I feel. That cup in the middle has something that was covering it up, but there's a little peeking out. That's some evidence being leaked about this. So I'm really curious about getting to that. Now the environment with the jail, with the 8 of Swords. I almost need a third deck, but I'm not going and getting another deck. Third tarot deck. 3 of Pentacles, the cooperation, working together. Now we have the 2 of Pentacles. Decisions. What do we do? 5 of Swords again. The environment is suggesting that there should be 2 people behind bars. Okay? But there is definitely that element. We have to work together and deceive, lie. We have to win this case at all costs. If we lose this case, that could be disastrous. Okay? Things could tip. 2 of Swords. I shit you not, the devil. Deception. About the weapon, the crime. Ace of Swords. Disguising the truth about the passing of the 4. I can't make this shit up. We are blocking the truth. We are protecting the guilty, not the innocent. We're protecting the guilty, not the innocent. Now, let's look at this King of Pentacles, where he falls in the outcome position with losing his victory. This one should be good. Okay, show me this outcome, this King of Pentacles. Oh my God, I can't make this up. Judgment being passed. Boom. 3 of Wands. And that it was the card in the foundations. Hallelujah. Justice. The end result is he is going to be judged for his participation, his planning of what happened, and justice is going to be served. So I like seeing this. This is kind of taking us through the night, and I wasn't expecting this part 2 to go into the final conclusion, but the cards wanted to talk. This King of Pentacles is going to go down. He's going to go down. For shits and giggles, let's get out the predictions deck. and just see if the predictions deck has anything else it would like to add to this. Oh, doesn't want shuffled like that. Okay. Anything else that you would like to add? And it told me to say, I rest my case. Organized meeting. It was well organized. I just want to see if that's all that it wants to say. Yep, this deck, that's why it said, I rest my case. This deck said, I rest my case. There's organized meeting. Let's see if the predictions deck wants to say anything about what is to come. And this deck is shuffling a lot easier. That deck was very restless. The energy. So to me, this almost sounds like Brian Koberger's going to go free. And that is their biggest fear. But we have a King of Pentacles going down. I don't know about that King of Wands. I don't think the King of Pentacles is as high as the King of Wands. But the King of Pentacles has the money. Manages the money. Dutton, you're going to have to wait until I'm done. Okay? Yes. The Dalmatian wants OUT. Mama's almost done. Commercial airline. Planes, transportation. Holding power. Military action. I'm feeling like this is police action, not military. I have to read intuitively. This is saying to me, the one holding power, and I think this is the King of Wands. The one holding power is getting out of Dodge when the shit starts rolling. When they start getting onto this King of Pentacles, the King of Wands is going to disappear. The military action is a police hunt, a manhunt. Could also involve getting in touch with other governments. Because I think that King of Wands, the one really holding the power, is going to flee and flee the country to try to escape judgment. Judgment's falling on that King of Pentacles. I'm going to put this out there. I think that when the King of Pentacles goes down, the King of Pentacles is going to squeal. And when he squeals, it's going to be too late. Because this King of Wands is going to be the hell out of Dodge. So this is part 2 of the Idaho 4. Without naming names. But you guys have followed this case long enough. I think you probably already know who the characters are. Maybe not as much as the King of Wands, but definitely the King of Pentacles. Definitely the Knight of Cups, the King of Cups. These are all people that you probably could figure out real easily who they are. Then we have the King of Swords here. He sometimes represents law enforcement. Just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay. Anyhow, that is it. Any questions? Put them below. And before you ask this question, let me address it. There is a reason why I give nicknames, and I'm not giving out actual names. And the reason is, I don't want sued, even though this whole thing is for educational purposes only. It's not based on fact. Anyhow, I love you all, and I will see you in the next one.